When I grew up, the memories I have from then of being really young are more vivid today than like memories of a few months ago. Being not in a stable home, it was never like this is my actual home. It was my mom moving me and my sister from place to place, her living with like different guys and partying all the time and living the lifestyle of the drinking and the drugs and just being a kid, just running around, and that's what I remember of it. Looking back at it now, no kid should ever have to go through that. Memories of being in a cop car or having her boyfriend hold you hostage in a house, or worrying, having my dad and them worry if we're just going to be dead the next day. No kid that young should ever experience that. You know, you should be having fun when you're young and be living a normal life and have friends, not being around drugs and alcohol and, being a part of that. My mom would always say that when I was a little kid just running around, I would steal her beer off the counters, and she would always wonder why her beer was missing. And I always say it started from there when I was just really little. She would wonder like why my diaper was always wet. Well, now I know that I was drunk. At this time I lived with my grandma then, because my mom had took me and my sister there and was, kind of like, I can't raise them no more, so we're just gonna leave you here. So I started living with my grandma when I was about 5. And I always wanted to rebel. Like when I got older, I never wanted to listen to anything they say. I always kind of threw it in their face, or my grandma's face mainly, because I would be like, you're not my mom or whatever, so I'm not gonna really listen to what you have to say. Probably when I was, in middle school, probably around 13 or so, started, using pot or drinking alcohol occasionally, and that became like an every weekend thing once I got older, the partying, and it was always fun to be with your friends and go out, and I was still, like popular in school, played sports, had lots of friends, kind of lived the double life of having, the good grades and stuff like that, because my drug use really never took off yet then. It was still fun, but the smoking the weed and drinking was eventually not enough. In high school, I started experimenting with pills and things like that, and it never occurred that it was a bad decision. It was just fun. When I got out of school, I was already pretty much bad off, but never knew it, you know what I mean? Everybody else did, but I never thought I was. I would steal from my grandma and steal from people I didn't know or that I did know. Anything I could do to get that next high. I remember being in my room one day and telling myself that I was gonna be a drug addict for the rest of my life, that I was never gonna be able to stop. I felt like there was no way, not even any power that could relieve me from addiction. I was already out there. And I was really pill sick one day and went over to my mom's house, and I had already tried meth at this point. I just tried it, and was still on oxys and stuff, but she was like, you need to get off them pills, get off them pills. You know, here, I'll do this meth with you if you just don't ever do pills again. And so I was like, all right. And me and my mom then started a relationship of using dope every day together. And that was whenever I felt like my mom was in my life. And to be with her every day, it didn't matter what we was doing. It felt right at the time until, you know, I started not using with her and hanging out with other people that was really bad influence and really older. When everybody else had given up on me, my grandma always kept telling everybody that I was going to be okay and that I was going to get better. She never gave up the fact that I was her strung out granddaughter that would steal money from her, steal out of her purse, and abuse the fact that I lived in her household. And getting clean and feeling them feelings of the hurt that I've caused her is something I have to accept because she means so much to me. And the support that she gives me now is like amazing, because just to think that who would want to help me now after everything I did, and for her to still be there by my side is just awesome. Any day that I have today, whether it's good or bad, I wouldn't trade it for any day that I was out there using, because recovery has saved my life.